Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to the local news. I am Tommy Johnagin.
And I'll tell you what, I'm Alex Stone.
This is the news that won't make you sad. We find stories from across the country and around the globe, staying away from politics, pop culture, because who needs that shit?
Happy
Was
Black
that it?
Friday. That
Happy
was it.
Black Friday.
You did
Are
it.
you doing anything? I got a bunch of emails. Nothing grabbed me. I'm someone that can be grabbed.
Yeah.
Nothing grabbed me yet. Is there a thing that's grabbed you?
Can I tell you, the best deal I've seen is one that is not applicable to us, but Hulu sent me an email. We got Hulu. Hulu sent me an email, 99 cents a month for a year. And then on top of that, it was like
Whew.
25% off moving forward if you sign up now. That's the best deal I've seen out here on these streets. But
Wait, you
yeah,
you already do have Hulu?
we got
So
Hulu
that's
for free off somebody else's password. So
is it off
it's
mine?
no, it's off of Mora's friend. So it's not a better deal than that, but
Oh,
it's
that's
a
a good
pretty
deal
good
what you
deal.
got going. I don't
Yeah.
think Hulu's getting a taste of what you got going though.
No, Hulu's not getting a cut of what we got going on, but that's a good deal. I've been waiting
Uh,
for I like here's 50% off. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Here's where I start getting excited. This is what gets me off the couch. When I see a 60% off. 60 or up, I'm losing my mind. I'm running in circles. I'm busting out the checkbook. I'm
I
seeing a lot
y-
of 40% offs this year.
Here's the thing. I think as a couple of guys that are couple of good friends, we disagree a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to tell you this, I've never agreed with you more about the 60% business.
That feels like a deal.
I'll
That feels like a
text
sale.
someone.
Yeah.
I'll text someone at 60%. I'm
60.
calling you at 75. I'm
Yeah.
showing up at your door
Hmm.
with a catalog. 60%. You know who does it is J. Crew will do it.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they get in this math where they're like, "Hey, it's 40% off. Then off of that, we'll take another 60% off." You ever see the ones where
I've
it's like it's
seen
it's on sale but then we'll take more off?
the
Those will.
multiple that also gets me excited is an additional whatever percent off of a sale.
Yeah.
I can get up for that. I can get up in a big way. But J. Crew is actually who I'm speaking
You all
about because
right?
they've been sending me emails. They say, yeah, 40% off. I've been waiting for it to creep up to that magic 60 number.
I'll tell you
But
this about I mean, I love J. Crew. We're a couple of guys had Thanksgiving dinner together, wore the same J. Crew shirt, didn't get a
uh-huh.
picture by the way.
Yeah, we blew it. More it was the first
Uh,
thing Moore said when we walked back in the door. Didn't get that picture.
I can't. I'm bummed about it. Now we got
Mm,
to. We either got to wait for it to happen on accident again, which could be forever, or we got to do it on purpose, and that ruins all the magic.
yeah, yeah.
We were
Magic,
wearing the same shirt.
true magical moment. Yeah, yeah.
The a couple phases of this, which maybe it wasn't as enjoyable to anybody else. We've discussed that my kids, a couple funny gals.
Uh huh.
I don't think that there's any malice. They love to roast you. They're big.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not mean people, but they'll.
They come in guns blazing. It's Friars Club style. I mean, there's a bit of respect in there, you know.
So Derek, who is going to do another movie review for the pod,
Mm-hmm.
Derek comes in with a similar shirt.
Uh
And then
huh.
they start going into him and myself about having similar shirts on. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you almost have the same shirt. You almost have the same shirt. Then you walk in with the exact same shirt. They couldn't have been happier. They told everybody they were
Yeah.
yelling at people on the streets.
Uh huh.
Um,
It's like that
Everett
meme.
was doing the bit
Where the
that
kids
you
going
would
like
do
this.
with with like like a coworker that's not super funny would be like, "Did you guys call each other?"
Yeah.
She kept doing the actual bit.
I could tell you this, Everett's, she's your daughter, so you're living with it more than I. But I feel like she is at that age where when she hears you laugh at a thing, she no integrity with this kid. Goes to the well repeatedly. I mean,
When she gets a laugh or hears
when she
me.
get when she gets a laugh, she goes,
Yeah.
that works. I'm going to put it in the act, and then that's coming out repeatedly over the course of an evening. She really likes it. So I heard it a
She
bunch.
is killer. So we got these same shirts. We had a nice Thanksgiving at the house here. We had to alter
Lovely.
our plans. We thought we were going somewhere, then we realized we were just looking at the map wrong. Had it upside down. Uh, a 5-hour drive was actually going to be a 12-hour drive.
You can't be doing that.
So
Can't be
we
doing
just had
that.
a I don't even think I wouldn't have even called what we did a Friendsgiving. I would have just called that a regular Thanksgiving with people you're
That's just
close with.
a beautiful Thanksgiving, a delicious meal. And I'll tell the people out there, because this is something you want on record. You're a guy, you've been smoking meats. You got real into smoking meats. You've been smoking a turkey for a handful of years.
I've
And
smoked
I'll
some
say it right
turkeys.
now, right here on record. That's the best one you ever did. I mean, that smoked
I
turkey,
felt it.
that was a good one.
Thanks. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Good old-fashioned good one. Very
That
tender, very juicy, very flavorful. All the words you want associated with your Thanksgiving
yeah.
turkey. I mean, checking boxes all the way down.
You know what I did is my stepdad Tom,
Mm-hmm.
old Tomcat, he was the OG turkey smoker in my life. He was the one, um, and never a guy that went out there and like stuck his finger in his mouth and measured the wind and poked it with a thermometer. Like, here's my mistake is if what I'm saying. My stepdad puts this turkey on, he picks it up, he says that's about 18 pounds.
Yeah.
Who knows? Pulls the feathers off. I don't even know what he does. Puts it on there, and then goes, that thing's gonna take this amount of time. That's gonna take this many hours to cook. And then he goes
Mm-hmm.
about his fucking business, enjoys his Thanksgiving, has some white Zinfandel, and then pulls that turkey off. And what I had been doing with just turkeys specifically, because it's a different thing, is I put these Bluetooth thermometers in. I know the temperature at every given moment. I'm raising it. I'm futzing with it too much futzing.
Yep.
So then that one last night or yesterday, I did a little dry brine that pulls the moisture out. It makes it smoke a little faster. And I go, you know what? I'm gonna put that on. I started everything earlier. Sometimes you get in a rush. You can't rush with smoking. So I got the coals on, got the temp up on the smoker. She was cruising, and then just threw it on. Didn't even look at it for 4 hours. Derek came over and said, "Can I see it?" And I go, "Not in this fucking house. You want to go look at a turkey? You go look at someone else's turkey." I'm gonna buy one of those shirts that say, "If you're looking, you ain't cooking." That's what smokers say.
Start knocking on doors. I'd say you were smoking a turkey like a city boy. Like if someone was writing a movie about a guy, like a country boy comes to the city and he meets a guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm into smoking turkeys too. I got this Bluetooth thermometer. I got this electric smoker over here. I can do it right in my apartment."
Don't you put an electric smoker on me? You know that's charcoal. You know damn well that's not electric.
But
that thermometer, I got a little because I like tech. I got a little too fancy for my britches there.
Yeah. I'm the same way with anything I make because I don't make things often in the oven. But I'm constantly opening that oven door. I'm checking. I'm seeing how we looking in there.
If you're looking, you ain't cooking. Yeah. That's literally a thing I saw on a barbecue website. It really sticks with you.
Yeah, it's catchy. Put it on a bumper sticker, a mug, apron, oven mitt.
You came in with a pecan pie,
not my
which
taste.
I'm not a pie guy.
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of pies, but I've had a lot. I know what I like. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I know what's going on when I put it in my. It was candy like. It was so tasty.
Yeah,
I don't know what it. You seem like you were like, I wish I had whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know, but that was delicious. You bring in this delicious pie, get upset with yourself?
Well, it tasted good, but I overcooked it a little bit where it was like a little sticky. It was too sticky. Like it should come out a little gooier and goopier.
No, I like, you know what? Maybe that's my jam because I don't like a gooey pie. That's part of the reason I don't love a pie.
You like an overcooked gooey pecan pie a little bit, a little sticky pie.
Yeah, I like it with sticky.
All right. Well, hey, I'll start overcooking pecan pies. I'll bring them over more on the reg. Get some in there. But top to bottom, delightful evening.
So what were you saying right before we got on? What'd you do this morning?
Just woke up, greeted the sun, bluebird landed on my shoulder. That's about all I did. I can't think. I'm racking my brain. I can't think of another thing.
Some kind of movement.
I don't know that I spoke before we got on here. To be honest,
maybe I was thinking of a different podcast.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you 3, 4, 5? Doesn't matter. Years ago, I got into drinking those bulletproof coffees. Do you know what a bulletproof coffee is?
Just butter and
coffee.
And a shotgun shell, right?
Yep. And then you just shoot yourself in the foot, and that wakes you up. But I was doing that. It's like a meal replacement.
Kevlar would have been the better. Anyway.
You don't got to eat breakfast, and
Yeah,
it's just like a meal replacement thing. So I was doing that, and I was loving it. I felt energized. I felt more alert. All the bullshit that
I've
they're
heard.
selling, I was buying. So I do
Wait,
that
what
for
is it
like,
for real? I fucked up on the bit. It's coffee with butter and something else though, like
well, you can do it with just
kimchi.
coffee and a certain type of grass-fed butter. And that is it. But Bulletproof Coffee is a brand, and they have like an oil, I believe, that you put into it. Like they have their own
So
little
if you're
omega
making your
kind of
own,
thing.
get off the brand. I thought it was coffee, butter, and then something else. It's just
It can
coffee and
just be
butter.
coffee and butter, yeah. But there's like it's about like the omega fatty, I don't know, the whatever, the good fat and the
Here's how well
all the
I think I
stuff.
know you. I think this is
Yeah.
going to a shit story.
Well, that's where we're headed, sort
All
of.
right.
So I'm doing that for like a week. There's this little place. I was back in Cincinnati visiting Mora. There's this little restaurant that was doing it, and I would go there every morning. I would get it. I'm living life. So from Cincinnati, we're driving to Syracuse to see her family for Thanksgiving. I realized in the car on the way to Syracuse, me, Mora, and her dad, that I don't know that I've taken a shit in 2 days. And so
Oh, it backed you up.
it backed me up. And so 2 days before Thanksgiving, nothing's coming out. Thanksgiving, nothing comes out day of Thanksgiving. Day after Thanksgiving, nothing comes out. Not until the day after Thanksgiving,
And you ate
which
a
is,
full Thanksgiving
and
meal?
I ate a full Thanksgiving meal thinking
I don't know
that'll
if this
push
is
it,
true. Do you
that'll
feel
push
weird
it
this
out.
whole time?
Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't feel good. Did
Honestly?
not feel good. Yeah. I mean, not
That's like
like
a whole thing. That's too many
not like
days.
go to the hospital, but I mean, I
Yeah,
felt
that's too many days. Did you
like
weigh
some stuff
more?
was going on. I probably did. I probably
You know
did.
what we need to do is do that thing where I grab you by your ankles and then push your knees to your chest a little. We would
Like,
do that with the girls, and then
yeah.
you
Is
kind of
that
pretend
real?
like they're going down a ski slope. You know what I mean? You
Oh,
catch their knees up a little bit, and then you go like left, and then you roll them to the right, and then you go right and roll them to the left. And
that
that,
feels like
next time you get stopped up, you come to me.
that feels like I drowned in a cartoon. You're trying to get the water out of me. Is what that
No,
that
no,
sounds
no. This
like.
this helps it all come out. Have you
All right.
pooped since this story? Is this story end with you having pooped since then?
Yeah, I pooped since then. It was the day. It was like 4 or 5 days, whatever it was. But there was a full Thanksgiving meal where I was eating more than I probably should have,
Yeah.
thinking that it would get
When it
the
was
wheels
all said
turning.
and done and the
Uh-huh.
credits were rolling, were you
Yep.
like, that's the amount? That felt like a full movie, or it felt like the first half of a two-parter.
I would say, it's, Godfather 1. I felt like there was two more movies coming,
Oh
and one
God.
one was going to be real
I
bad.
hate that. I hate that.
So, I would not recommend. Would not recommend. Try the
I gotta
try
do
the coffee, but if it stops you up, even after a day, shut it down.
I may
Shut
try
it
to
down.
do one of these things where you order these pre-made meals. I gotta write the ship. We've been talking about it for about
Uh-huh.
3 years here, but I'm about to do something. I'm really gonna do something.
You gotta get this. I've had a couple. Andy does that magic oven. I've had a couple of those. They're very good. You
They're
should get that
tasty. You
magic
know
oven
what
one.
that place does? Which I should check. It's Black Friday. Everybody's going all out. That his place doesn't do a non-dairy option. It's
Oh,
bananas. Because I would do it in a
that's
heartbeat.
that's what gets you. Yeah, yeah.
Also,
That
Andy did that, and I mean, I don't think we're telling stories at school. I think he lost like 50, 60 pounds. Am I crazy?
he did, but he was. I mean, it was in conjunction with he was like running every morning too, and
Yeah,
he was.
but people say that doesn't even really matter.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I have heard that. So, but it did help him lose weight. It was
Yeah,
a great assistance, I'll say, for sure.
it's great. You remember in school when you would take school pictures?
I
And
remember taking school pictures.
did you ever take a good one? I didn't
I
take
mean,
many great ones.
there's not any that I think about. I'd say I took like 2 or 3 bad ones, but there's
Yeah.
not
Look
one
at
where I'm
these
like,
guys. Did
nailed
you
it.
see these guys?
Oh, those are solid.
Look at those two girls.
Those are like little LinkedIn pictures right there. You can put that on a profile. Get your resume back there. That's solid. When
I
did
got them on the
when
little
did they
desk here.
did they do that recently? With
They took those beginning-ish of the school year, and then we just got them in. Did I tell you what I ordered?
No.
I ordered I was in a hurry, and I'm a guy that loves a picture. We've covered that. So I just
Yep.
check package A or whatever the fuck. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean?
Yep.
I go, we're just doing it. We're going all in. It's like $75.
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a kid, my mom loved pictures also. I think people love pictures. And for whatever reason, everything becomes like a fucking thing with kids. People are just assholes. I
Uh-huh.
remember like having, my mom loved the pictures, but we couldn't afford that top package. And for somehow that became like a status type thing when you'd go in, like the kids would be like, "Oh, you got A and C," and then I would always have like the poor kid package. Um, and I'm not doing that for that reason. To like, I don't think that they're doing that. I think they throw this thing in a fucking box as soon as they walk in. But in
Uh-huh.
my mind, I'm still the kid. I'm like, I'm getting A. They've never spoken of it. Nobody at their
Yeah.
kids are moved past this. Um, so I got this big package, and in it comes a photo that is 20 by 30. It's fucking
Like a
huge.
poster, just like a
Yeah,
poster to put
it's
on the
like the
wall.
thing, like if they were robbing banks together and we were
Uh-huh.
doing that press conference where their big pictures are like next to the sheriff as he's saying they're armed and
Yeah.
dangerous. That's the size of the photos I got. I don't even know what to do with them.
I mean, I don't know who would get, like, I don't know who that's for other than what you're describing. I get, like, here's where I get that is if, let's say that your kids are the seniors in high school and they're about to graduate and you're doing a thing where it's like, hey, everybody sign the picture or something like that. But this feels
Okay.
like too young for that. This is
You know what I'm
that's a
going to do?
weird size photo.
I think I'm going to give them to you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, they
How
have
about
them
that?
sign
You
it
just
first.
have giant pictures of my kids when people come over.
You ever get you get a class ring? Your class ring guy over there?
Um,
Class rings?
I remember it being a thing. I may have gotten a class ring.
I remember the
I
catalog came out.
mm,
You could like customize a little bit. You could pick your
yeah.
birthstone or whatever the fuck, and you want a football in there or a basketball or a hockey stick.
I
I didn't get
remember
one.
wanting it so a gal could wear it on a necklace around her neck. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Because that's what
I
you would do when you had a gal.
I'll tell you this. I don't have a lot of regrets in life. One of my biggest regrets in life is giving away every athletic sweatshirt I got in high school to a girl. I own none of like my high school hockey sweatshirts, soccer. It's
Oh,
all a girl's got it, and I'm sure it's at a thrift store
this
somewhere.
is your
Or
documentary.
got to go find those, get those back.
Yeah.
I really hate it.
I have a pair of
Really bums me out.
sweatpants in my drawer that I should give away. Like the elastic's gone, the string's gone, but they were the sweatpants I got in football. Our football coach wanted us to do another sport. What he should have wanted us to do is not play football as a
Uh,
fucking 5'9" white kid that's
yeah.
150 pounds.
Uh huh.
Uh, I have one less ACL because of it. But anyway,
Uh
I
huh.
was not going anywhere. Uh, but we are like, oh, let's do track. And then I did track and I got this sweatsuit that was, it seemed like it was from the 80s. And I'm in high school in the early 2000s. It
Yeah.
just felt everything about it was the most comfortable thing you've ever worn. It had my number on it. And then I
Mm-hmm.
lost the string and it became unwearable. And that's the only thing I have left. And I can't let it go. So I know what you're saying about wanting those
Yeah.
things.
My dad has a cross country sweatshirt from when he was in high school that we still have, and I was like, man, it'd be so cool to have that and give it to a kid, or
Yeah.
but gone
I think I
to
chose I'm trying to remember here. I feel like I chose the class ring over the Letterman jacket. Like I don't think I
a
got a Letterman jacket.
Letterman jackets. Forgot about those. I don't think we got that. Was not something that we were offered. I don't think. I don't remember that ever coming across the radar or the desk in a catalog of any kind. It might have been in the class ring catalog, honestly, but I didn't
Yeah.
get one. I didn't get one is the end of the story. Let's go
There was
back.
that ring
That's
category. There was a magazine. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Do you remember the rings? They
Class
were
Ring
always
Magazine.
they were all there's a certain brand.
Classringmagazine.com.
Ah man,
Crypto
I'm still
crypto.com. You hicking up?
crypto.com. Picking up. The Staples Center is already listed as crypto.com on StubHub.
Already?
They jumped
I
the
thought
gun
it
a bit.
wasn't official yet. I thought that was like, hey, we're gonna do it. I didn't know it was.
No, it starts in December, but I mean,
Oh
here we
wow.
are, into November.
Okay, that's fucking weird. Well, you want to get into a little top story?
Yeah, let's get out there. My nose is stuffy.
Very confident, very excited guy. All right, top story number 1. I'll tell you this: both top stories this week sent into us by Dustin Morgan on Twitter. Okay,
Dustin Morgan from my high school.
Dustin Morgan. Let me click on his thing. It does not say Dustin Morgan from your high school. He's followed by Tay Diggs. And that's what I got for
Tay
you.
Diggs did not go to my high school.
No? All right. Well, then, it's a toss-up. But Dustin Morgan, write in if you got a class ring from what high school did you go
to? Benton Consolidated High School.
Benton Consolidated High School? That's what it's called?
BCHS. Yes, it's what it's
They
called.
called it Benton Consolidated High School?
Yeah,
I get
because
that
we
you
consolidated all these little schools to go to our high school.
That's what you do, but it's not the catchiest name for a high school. There's no alumni.
Well, you would call it Benton. You would call it Benton High School, but its real name is Benton Consolidated High School, BCHS.
What a terrible! That honestly, not a bit. Maybe the worst name of a high school.
I don't know how much longer I'm going to stand for this. What was your dumb school's name?
Sycamore High School. Sycamore School Districts. That's after a tree. I mean, come on. You put that. There was a leaf, a little sycamore leaf. Sycamore High School.
Were you guys called the Leaves?
No, we're called the A's. We're the Sycamore Aviators. All right, little planes, little airplanes. Our mascot was an airplane. It's not great.
Tiny airplanes.
Yeah, we're tiny airplanes. Look, this isn't about mascots, okay? This is about naming a thing. Consolidated. Yeah. All right, here we go.
I feel like I've sent you a couple hot stories.
Did you? Well, I mean, if you want to jump in with one at any point during this, we can do it.
I probably just forgot to send it.
Well, this one, Dustin Morgan sent it in on Twitter. Walmart pulls children's toy that swears and sings in Polish about doing cocaine. So there's a lot to unpack there. So there's this toy. You remember those dancing Coca-Cola daisies? You know what I'm talking about? It was like these daisies, and they would kind of go back and forth, and they would sing a song.
Yeah.
So this is like a similar vibe, but this is like a cactus in like a little pot, and it you press a button and it kind of just wiggles back and forth. And so it sings in 3 languages. It sings in English, Spanish, and Polish. Polish kind of coming out of left field here, but that's the 3rd language. And it's supposed to be educational. It's for kids, and the English, the Spanish, they check those boxes. But this grandmother orders it for her grandchild, and this grandmother, they didn't plan on this, speaks Polish. And what she realizes is that this thing is it's singing a song that is about just doing cocaine and being alone. She's like, it's a very depressing song. And what it is there is a Polish rapper who goes by the name Cypus, and it's just his song. So they just took a rap song, a Polish rap song.
Oh, well, he's got a lawsuit on his hands.
He's got a lawsuit, and he says he plans on suing these folks. Yeah.
Who are the people that did it? It's definitely a bit, right?
It's a Chinese company, is all that it
I don't know why that's important.
say. But it feels like it's a bit. It feels like the way that English, Spanish, Polish, if you were to look, I don't know, maybe it's just because of where we live, it seems out of left field. I'm sure it's a more popular language than I'm giving it credit for.
I wonder if you're sitting at this joint and your job is to make this song and you don't speak Polish, right?
Yep.
Let's say, let's live in a reality for 1 second where you do not speak Polish, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to probably type into the old Google Polish children's song and pull out the first thing you can get.
Okay.
Maybe. The other thing is, what is Google like in China? Because I don't know if it's not the same.
They don't have it. They don't have it. They've got their own Google.
They got to have their own
version
thing. So
of it. Yeah.
I'm sure that they have their own government filtrated thing that you're probably not getting all the results when you type in something from Poland. I feel like this could have been an honest mistake.
Okay. You think it's just some guy? He's under the gun. He's got a deadline. He's like, I don't, I don't speak Polish. I'm just going, just quick. He's got his boss banging down the door, breathing down his neck. Just
Yeah,
throws it out there.
like
I
the
mean, it's amazing. I don't know. Do you
right.
think if you got a toy, I'm just trying to think this out. If you got a toy, right, for your
Hmm.
kids, and it speaks three languages, and one of the
Right,
languages is Polish, right?
right.
That's just like a third thing. Is there a version of you you're just like I will just never know what this means, or do you think that you would like hold up your phone and try and figure it out? Like if this was in your house, do you think you'd try and figure out what this thing is saying?
Well, I mean, now that we live in the future and the phone can do that, I would probably like to know what it says, um, just for that thing, because you have a little song and your kid will just repeat that song, and then next thing you know, there's a Polish person and an Applebee's next to us, and they're like, "What the fuck's that kid screaming about?"
I think I would just assume that it was the same song in different. Like I don't think I would check now that I'm thinking about it. I would just
Now
be
you know
like,
what?
oh, it's
You're
this
probably right. I
song in
meant
that
after the
language.
story. I meant living life after we know the story.
Okay, yeah, this
Because what
changes the
I mean,
reality
in
a
all
little bit.
that shit, I mean, if it's a wildly different tune, like I don't know, was this Cactus beatboxing and
Hmm.
then went into these dirty Polish lyrics?
I don't know. It just kind of grooves. I think. Let's put this reverse, right? Let's say you're
Can we
running
hear
a
it?
little American toy company, and you're sending these toys to Poland. There may
Little
be a way I
American
could
Toy
do it. I
Company is a
can't do it
great
right now.
name.
Little American Toy Company, and you're sending a little dancing cactus to Poland. What English song are you putting in there as a bit that you're like
Uh,
they'll never know? What's
booty,
your
booty,
what's
booty,
your
booty,
bit
rocking
American
everywhere.
song?
That's always a good one.
That's a fun one. That's a real fun one. Anything about butts. I think anything about butts is good. Anything plays. Sir
I mean, you go
Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got
classic,
Back.
yeah, classic with that.
Hmm.
Baby Got
I think
Back.
that's solid.
I think that one
All
song
right, you
that's
want to go?
if you want to go crazy, it's like whatever that my neck, my back.
Oh yeah.
Remember that one?
I tell you how we heard a commercial for a personal injury attorney in Florida. It was my neck, my back, my windshield just got cracked.
Oh
Still
yeah,
think about
that's
it.
great.
One of the greatest radio commercials I've ever heard. All right, let's go. Top story number 2 here. Georgia politician stands by giant topiary chicken that got him ousted as mayor. Okay, so there's a mayor
Oh, I
in
saw
Georgia.
the picture of this.
You saw this big chicken? It's just a
Yeah.
big old chicken, just a big old wire chicken in Fitzgerald, Georgia. Okay, so Jim Puckett, he was the mayor of Fitzgerald, Georgia, and he says, "You know what I'm going to do to increase tourism in this town? Put this little town on the map here. I'm going to make the world's biggest chicken, and there's going to be plants growing out of it. So the plan is, build like a little wire skeleton frame. Then on that, you build like this living garden, just this green chicken. But inside the chicken, there's like a little Airbnb. You can like rent it out. So say you want to go to Fitzgerald, Georgia and spend a night in the chicken, you can rent that out. But he spent $291,000 getting this chicken to where it was. And then the biggest mistake he made was not finishing it before the election came back around again. And overwhelmingly at the ballot box, they said, "Get out of here. Quit wasting our money on this big old chicken." And he's gone. And so now he believes, it lies in the hands of the next administration, but he thinks they're going to finish it. And he said he would be devastated if they don't. So my question to you is: you're mayor of Fitzgerald, Georgia. You just won in a landslide victory over Jim Puckett. You finishing this chicken, or you tearing this chicken down? And keep in mind, you got 291,000. You got
I
about
know.
$300,000 into this chicken.
Well, how much we got left to finish? How much money we got left?
Yeah, it looks to me as just a guy who doesn't know much about big chickens is that all you got to do is plant this stuff on top of it. It looks pretty much it's up there. There's a chicken in your town,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
apparently I was gonna say there's a lot of these little. There's like a chickens live in this town. There's like a lot of these little wild chickens, and so
yeah,
that's
so
why
that's
they
where he
do it.
got the
It's not
idea,
like
right?
he didn't just pick an animal and was like, you know what, I like chicken. build a big old chicken.
Man, it's
You tearing it
dangerous
down,
to
you leaving
fix
it up.
it because you got the guy just lost his gig, but you're a 4-year job, right? I think you got to finish it fast because they can't get rid of you for 4 more years. You finish it fast, then by the time your term's over, maybe it's thriving. You get reelected on the back of that chicken, or it's gone long enough, and you're like, hey, I was either waste $291,000 or spend an extra 10 grand to finish it, and I did what I thought was right.
I think you need dreamers like this. You know what I mean? Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems crazy, spend a lot of money on it, but if not for the Jim Pucketts of the world, we're not going to have world's largest, ball of yarn
yeah,
or
we're definitely not
world's
talking
largest
about
picnic
this
basket.
town without this chicken.
I think it worked. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think it already worked. I would go if you were near Fitzgerald, Georgia. I'd say you're within 30 minutes. You're driving to Florida from New York or wherever you're driving through, and you're looking for a place to stay. And one of the places you can stay is in a giant chicken, 30 minutes away, for the same price as a hotel. You tell me you're
Yeah,
not going to go stay in that chicken? You go stay in the chicken.
I've never had sex inside of a chicken before.
Where's the weirdest place you ever stayed? Where's the weirdest hotel you ever been in?
Me,
You stay
for
in any
real?
weird hotels? Yeah, you stay in any weird
No, I mean,
Airbnbs?
I stayed on campus like when I did a college show, and it was something like a bed and breakfast at this college in
Mm-hmm.
the Northeast, which they're all haunted. Um,
Uh-huh.
it was just weird though. It was like some college kids were staying there. It was like where if you had your family come, they could stay in this Airbnb, or not this
Yeah.
Airbnb, but this B and B. There's this B and B, and everything about it was weird. Like I'm a grown man. There's like a college family next to the kid with a family, and then an
Uh-huh.
old gal making a biscuit in the downstairs. And I left. I just left, and it's not especially weird. I just didn't enjoy it.
I stayed at doing a college in northern Indiana. I stayed in a box suite inside the football stadium. So it was just a
Overnight?
suite. You overnight. You open,
No
you walk in, and then glass wall, there is the football field. And I could close a shade and the couch pulled out into a bed, stayed in the suite at the
shower.
football field. Yeah, there was a shower in there. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that may
It was the
be
weirdest place I've ever
that's a
stayed.
cool place. Why are you staying there?
It was, I mean, that was just where they put me up. They said, "Hey, come do this college.
Is
Will
there
it's this
are
plus lodging."
are there people staying in the other boxes?
Not that I saw while I was there, no. But it didn't
Man,
seem. I mean, they gave me a key. It just seemed like this is a place that they put people.
that's a pretty cool
It
place
wasn't
to
like
stay.
it was cool. It was cool. It's also the weirdest. It's also the weirdest one I've ever stayed in. But I stayed in one of those ones that you're describing in New Hampshire at a college that
I've maybe
was
seen one.
100% haunted. And there was like a little town or somebody in the downstairs while I was in the upstairs.
Yeah,
So
I've maybe
anytime they
seen one.
moved, I thought it was a ghost.
I'm trying to think
Real
if there's any
spooky.
other weird place I've stayed. I
All
don't
right.
think so.
We stayed when we went to New York for a wedding. We did an Airbnb where we stayed in somebody's apartment with them. That was weird.
Nope.
I wouldn't
Never doing
recommend
that.
that. Don't do that. I always go whole place. Um, I had a friend tell me, I'm not going to name this friend.
All right.
I'm not going to put him on blast. I don't even know that I'm putting him on blast, right? But we're
Is it
talking
spam?
about dating. It's not. We're talking about dating, and he's talking
Sweet.
about he's on the apps, and it's like COVID's hard, and he was like, before COVID, this is my best way at meeting women, and he said that there is a website, couchsurfers.com, where
Oh
if you're
no.
traveling, you can
Ah,
stay on people's couches, and he said that this was a great way for him to meet women.
no.
How's that hit your ear? This is a
Ah.
person said it to me as like a legitimate. This is how I can meet people.
Are you against it? I'm against it.
I'm not into it. It seems weird. I'm
There's
against
like
it
a
on like
presumed
every
thing. If
level
if you're
on
like,
both
I
sides.
need to rent out my couch for extra money, There's like a
Uh-huh.
presumption that everyone's not going to try to fuck me, right?
Well,
Is that just
I
what
would
it's like?
to go to bat for my friend. I don't think he's not out here assaulting anybody, but he would say that generally, if there's people traveling, they're in your good. Like part of, I guess, this website is that you're kind of you lend your couch, and you're also supposed to act as a tour guide. So you go out, you take these people out to bars and play. So you're kind of like going on a date with each person that comes into your town
Oh, this sounds like a
or your
murder app.
house.
Has this been shut down by murders yet?
Feels like a murder. That's what I said. Feels like everyone involved should feel like they're about to be murdered. But
All
I guess
parties.
murder didn't shut it down, but COVID shut it down in a big way.
Yeah. Thank God for
But
that then.
if you're striking out, you're having a tough time when the world opens back up. Maybe just think about couchsurfers.com. That might be your key to happiness. You might find your Polish wife out there. She can tell you what your cactus is saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I got more problems with it than I want to get into right now.
All right.
Just stay off my couch,
Now
guys.
let me tell you about a little story that fits into crime time here. This one's sent in to us by Julian Caperon. A Michigan woman tried to hire an assassin online at rentahitman.com. Now she's going to prison. So there's a website. It is called rentahitman.com.
Oh, this is great.
Wendy Wayne. She says, you know what? I want to kill my husband. He had an affair with the babysitter. I'm going to kill this piece of shit. He's a bad guy. I want him dead. So she's trying to figure out, how do I do that?
That's true.
Oh,
we don't even know that he fucked a babysitter.
huh?
We know that's what she said, but we don't know that that's
you know
true.
You're right. I didn't mean to slander Mr. Wayne, but
Yeah.
he did something, or
right.
she just decided that he needed to be dead. You know what? Let me take a sip of this coffee. All right, I'm back. I'm fully back. Now she goes online. She says, how do I find someone to kill this husband of mine? She says, oh, perfect. Rentahitman.com. She fills out the form. It looks like a legit, real website, sends it in. What she doesn't realize is that rentahitman.com is a website run by a man named Bob Enos. Okay, he's 54 years old. He lives in Northern California. And since the early 2000s, since 2005, he's just had this website up. And anyone who sends it in, and he reads every form that comes in that he deems to be serious. Like if he can figure out that the person sending it is real and the target is a real person, he sends it to the police. And he's caught like 400 people that have just fallen for this thing. And it's just still up, still live. And he's like, I can't believe that it's happening. So this is a combo crime time local hero here.
It feels like he would be someone to talk to.
He'd be a good guy to chat with.
Maybe we interview rentahitman.com guy, right? Or does he not want to be interviewed?
Bob Enos. I mean, he got interviewed by the Washington Post for this story. So it seems like, if the Washington Post can get him, I mean, come on.
Yeah, we're right.
The Washington Post a podcast.
It's Washington Post than us. Everybody knows that.
So he says that it was like early internet. He just started buying up domains, and he's like some sort of tech like internet guy. And he was going to do this thing where let's say you run a company, he will try to attack your company online to see if you are susceptible to cyber attacks, and then be like, hey, these are where your holes are. This is what you can do. So that was one of the websites, rentahitman.com, that he was like, maybe I'll brand myself as this, and never panned out. So he says, you know what I'll just do is just try and trap people who want to kill someone. And it
now I want to
remarkably successful. He says,
we got to go to this website.
Go to rentahitman.com. He says he gets about 10 entries a month. A lot of gag. A lot of people doing bits out there on rentahitman.com. But every once in a while, he can corroborate one. And he says, hey, police in this area. Because he says you got to enter in your email, your name, where you live, all this stuff that like helps him figure out, hey, are you a real person? Are you some bot or somebody just having a good time? Rentahitman.com. Now I'm kind of vamping while you go to rentahitman.com.
Rentahitman.com. He says the dark web is not safe, but we are. So he's already got you in. Like if I'm looking for Hitman, here's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of people probably don't. They're like, I got to get on the dark web, Letterkenny, and they don't know how to get on the
Yep.
dark web. So they get to this place and they're like, well, hold on a second. I don't
Mhm.
even need the dark web. I got rentahitman.com.
Yep.
It's safe, secure, and available right here on the World Wide Web. Our clients' this is bananas. Our clients' confidentiality is important to us, so rest assured that your information will remain private as required under HIPAA, the Hitman Information Privacy and Protection Act of 1964. I would love to talk to this woman too, because I think if you're just dumb enough, you're fully duped by that point already. Like you got here's what
Yeah.
here's what you do. Here's how you convince stupid people of something. You take big words and you
Uh-huh.
shorten them into something, and then you put a year on it. So
Uh-huh.
you go HIPAA,
Yeah.
Hitman Information Privacy and Protection Act. Well, that's legit of 1964. Are you fucking kidding me? Nobody could make this up. It's too complicated. And
Uh-huh.
I'm in.
It has to be real. They put it on the internet. Do you think that you have to be dumb enough to believe that you could get away with hiring a hitman on the internet? Like, is that the line? Anyone dumb enough to think that they could just log onto the internet and find a hitman is going to fall for this? Or do you think there is a discerning person in that bunch that's like, something seems up here. Something's up. I'm gonna head over
Wait,
to
what was your thing?
Craigslist.
You think
If you're
it's red
dumb enough
flagging people?
to Well, I'm saying if you're dumb enough to think that you can just find a hitman on the internet and get away with it, are you falling for this? Like this net is catching 100% of those people, or within that group is there a discerning person that would see this and be like, I don't know, this feels too easy, like, or
I
does
gotta.
that person even exist?
I mean, I haven't read everything,
I don't know.
but I think if you're um at this place and you're here, nothing is red flagging me to be like, "Ah, this isn't real." Like he made it look pretty real.
Good for
Yeah,
you, Bob. Good for you, Robert.
I think he says
That's
he's on
great.
Yelp, unless that
That's
was just a
time well
pop
spent.
up. But then there's like a video that we can't watch because I don't know how to do that on the podcast. Uh, here's the I would like to talk to this guy because there's some interesting stuff on here.
All right.
Why did my nose
Let's
just
reach
get
out to
stuffy?
Bob in.
Am I dying? Is this
I
COVID?
don't know.
I'm vaccinated. I
Are
had
you
a
catching
booster.
COVID in real time? What a twist. Breakthrough case.
All right.
All right. Well, maybe in the future here we'll be talking to old Bobby Eanes on a Patreon of some kind.
Like
All right. You want to go to local sex here? Close
Let's
it
get
out.
this sex. Yeah.
All right. Headline here. Why do humans keep trying, parentheses, and failing at monogamy? Here's what science and history has to say. Okay. So here's what we say. I think a lot of people, me included, would say that human beings are monogamous creatures. But within that, here's what I didn't realize is that there are different branches of monogamy. So there are, I believe this is a very long article, so I'm trying to, parse through it. But I think there's genetic monogamy, where this is just how you are
you
wired.
fuck your wife, or you fuck your wife's sister or her aunt. Like
Yeah, just
you stay
anyone
in the same
genetically
gene pool. Yeah.
related to your spouse, you're about it. So we got the California mouse and the Malagasy giant jumping rat, which is, I got to get eyes on that guy, are a handful of animals that have ever been identified who really do truly mate for life and stay faithful to one another. Genetic monogamy. There are animals that are almost completely monogamous: prairie wolves, swift foxes, and golden cheek gibbons, who all try their best not to stray, but don't always manage to stay faithful. Also,
They fuck up.
just
Gal
they
down at
fuck
the
up every
office
now and again.
works with the swift fox.
Yeah, long hours. Things
Yeah.
happen. Now, this article also goes out his way, and I don't know. I haven't seen all of Friends, but despite what Friends merchandise has told us over the years, lobsters do not mate for life. Not even
Are you talking about Friends the show?
for most of their life. the Friends. I guess there's something on Friends where lobsters made for life is something from Friends. I'm sure there's Friends fans that are screaming at their radios or their headphones.
Yeah.
But they'll form a pair bond for about like a week, and then they'll have a lot of sex, and then they'll get out of there. What they say about human beings is that we also form pair bonds, and our kind of monogamy, I believe they've coined it as a social monogamy. And the argument that they make is that while, if you look at it from an evolutionary standpoint, you just boiling it down to survival of the fittest, all that jazz, is that you would want to spread your seed with as many people as possible to ensure that your genes and your
Yeah.
DNA
That's what I've
thrive,
heard.
survive, and spread. But part of your DNA spreading, continuing, is that your children survive. And so when they're born, it's easier to co-parent and protect your child. And then also now in this kind of evolved world that we live in, it's easier to like financially support your child and protect them that way. And so while we're not hardwired genetically to be monogamous, we socially are, because we view it as a way to kind of in an abstract sense take care of our genes. Now, I just talked for a while and threw a lot at you. How's this hitting your ear?
I mean, it all checks out. It's human monogamy is always it's a question that always comes up because it's so matter of fact, black and white with what we do with marriage and relationships, that anytime you go like I don't know if this feels right, it's weird, it's like you get into this territory of like you're an asshole. But like it honestly does seem like a thing. Like if we were just meant to do it, monogamous and whatnot, like it would be easier and there would be less people fucking up. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about this. What was the guy? The Sly Fox? What was that fox? Swift Fox? The Swift Fox, they said
there's
it's
some
rare.
Swift Fox. I believe it's Swift Fox.
The Swift Fox, monogamous animal,
it's rare.
Then rarely they will stray.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't even know if that's because all Swift Foxes look similar. Maybe, you got a bad Swift Fox in the bunch, ate a bad chicken.
It's
felt
dark.
Weird. You know what I mean? But they were saying they are monogamous, but it's rare that they stray. Where humans, I feel like it's very common that humans stray. And I think like the stigma and the judgment that comes along with it, we gotta. I think that society is kind of shifting towards a little more of a accepting that maybe humans aren't totally monogamous, and that isn't the worst thing in the world.
Well, that is how they get into this article.
My kids, I like the waking up and my kids are here. If they have a bad dream, I'm here. Like I'm monogamous because my kids' realm. If that makes any sense. Like I think that was one of the categories you were saying there.
It does. That's one of the categories. But that's how they get into this article. They say that in the past year, ethical non-monogamy or polyamory has risen 500%.
In the past
based on
year?
whatever poll they're doing. In the past year. So one of the things that's interesting also in the story is that they talk about, it's a little gross, but it is interesting, about talking about how human beings are genetically wired, is that they say your sperm, when it's in a woman, congeals in a way where on like a biological level, what it's doing is trying to block any other sperm from getting in there. So like if you sleep with a person, it's like, okay, I'm here. If anyone comes after me, they're not getting through. Where like you're biologically wired in a way where you're expecting someone to continue trying to spread their seed. One time, a little fun sperm fact I threw out there.
After sex, I just kind of peeked
in
there.
You have an anecdote about the congealed sperm?
Yeah, so we had just had sex, and I was like, I want to see what happens after. And I look in there, two of my sperm, the biggest of the two, set up a velvet rope outside there. You had to have a name on the list and the whole night.
Wow!
Nobody else getting in.
Had a little list.
They treat it
Had a
like a
little
little
had a little
club.
Bluetooth in the ear, the
Yeah.
big one. Wow,
Um,
very interesting.
here's the thing. Do you, do you have non-monogamous thoughts about specific people? I'll take my answer off the air.
I'll just say no. Just flat
So
out
you
no.
are telling me this is not a bit like when I remember when I was younger in high school, and you start to you start to find the joys of masturbation, and you just got your imagination, because we were like right on the edge of the internet there. I didn't have the internet at the ready. I didn't have a tape at the ready. You got to kind of paint a picture in your head. I got to Bob Ross this whole scene up in my own brain, and there would be time like
Happy little trees.
I was very consistent with like there was it's like what I would think of, it would be like, oh, this gal, oh, that's gonna be a fun one. And then it'd be like, oh, but I really like her, but Morgan would never do that. She's too good of a person. So you just go I could not
Oh, wow.
fantasize even about someone that I thought wouldn't do, like if they wouldn't do it in real life, I couldn't even imagine it in my head.
It also tracks with how you are as an adult in terms of your comedy and storytelling, where you don't like to stray too far from the truth.
Nope.
No making shit up in here. It's got to
Yeah.
be plausible.
Gotta
Very
keep it
interesting.
real.
Well, that's local sex right there.
We did local sex. I mean, I feel like you lied at the end there, but
We did it.
we did it.
No,
All right.
I would
Send us your
never.
stories,
I
local
respect the
news
podcast too much.
pod on Twitter or whatever we are. You find us. You know us. You love us. Alex is some bullshit.
Alex Stone Comedy on Twitter. Alex Stone 11 on Instagram. Find me. Follow me. Do it.
See you. You got to push the button.
Bye.
All right.